Thank you, Jennifer. It's such a pleasure to be here representing the City of Sydney. I also want to acknowledge that we're meeting on Gadigal land today and that sovereignty was never ceded over this place. It always was and always will be Aboriginal land. We're lucky to be more recent arrivals, a lot of us, to Sydney and to this country. And it's one of the things that makes Sydney so interesting, so unique, and I think so well placed to be a place that tells the stories of and for and to the world. Here in the City of Sydney, I think about 50% of us were either born overseas or have more than one parent who was born overseas. Who here identifies with that? Oh, okay, more than 50%. All right, that's great. It's extraordinary, right? And that is one of the most exciting and I think most vital resources that Sydney has, is our connection to places that are not here, to other cultures, to other ways of telling stories, other ways of framing the world and imagining a future, which is something that we all need right now. I'm really thrilled that the City of Sydney, through our matching grants, is supporting this incredible initiative. I was really lucky in a previous life to have had some connection with Carnival of the Bold through my work at Vivid Ideas, and so I know that the work that they do is fantastic and so important in giving a platform to writers and storytellers from so many different backgrounds. And that's really important because the kinds of stories that we tell ourselves and that we tell each other really matter. So I'm wearing this necklace for a reason today. Not just because this comes with a job, but we've been telling ourselves some really bad stories about Sydney, right? We know it can be a tough place to live. We know it's expensive. It can be hard to do creative work here when you've got those big overheads. We know that some people have been working flat out to destroy our nightlife and our culture. And yet, if we keep telling ourselves those stories, it's just going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. It'll just scare more artists away. It'll just shut down those places that are still sticking their necks out, like 107 Projects, like Frida's down the road, like the Bearded Tit down the road that way. All of these places that really encourage storytelling, creativity, local performance, diversity. We need to keep going out, and we need to keep making art. And we need to keep telling positive stories about our city, because those stories that we tell have power and they can come true. So let's keep telling positive stories about Sydney. And the other reason why I'm so excited about what Roanna is doing and about this event is that it really matters who gets access to the stage and the microphone. In Australia, we are a hugely multicultural, diverse, young population, and yet our governments don't look like us. Our storytellers on screens and our representatives in Parliament look nothing like us. I heard that, or I read a piece that said that the average Australian politician is a guy called Andrew because there are apparently 7 Andrews in federal Parliament, right? I think he's 58 years old. He owns 2 properties. He has 2 degrees, he has 2 kids, and he is white and from an Anglo-Saxon background. And you know what? That's not what Australia looks like. That's much older, richer, and whiter than Australia. And so what we've got to do, as well as claiming microphones and claiming stages to make our stories look and sound more like us, is we've also got to figure out how we make our politics represent us too. Now, I'm particularly moved that this is a group of all women right now because I watched Homecoming last night. And I'm in a very emotional place right now. And I have to stop talking, I know, but this is very important. And if you don't know, Homecoming is Beyonce's documentary. It's currently on Netflix. It is the most extraordinary document. And what it does, the reason why I'm so excited about Homecoming, for many reasons, but it's a perfect, beautiful articulation of the fusion between politics and art. And that those 2 things, expression and creativity and political meaning and finding power in your culture, particularly when your culture's been marginalised and sidelined and you've been told your stories don't matter, Finding that connection is so powerful. It puts you in front of the world and it gives other people a platform and a path to follow you. So storytellers, no pressure. I am comparing this to Homecoming tonight. But I'm really looking forward to hearing your stories, and please keep telling them. Please keep getting up there and claiming the microphone and claiming the platform for your storytelling, because we need it and the people coming behind you need it too. So thanks again, and looking forward to it. Thanks.